DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse, is the one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW has what you need, but more importantly, they have what you didn't even know you wanted. You never know what you'll find at DSW. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
It's a brand new year and a brand new season, and 14 new contestants walk into the workroom. For this week's mini challenge, the girls vie for the title of Scream Queen. For this week's maxi challenge, the girls must design an outfit from unconventional materials left from Drag Race past. On the main stage, Kenya Pleaser and Mandy Mango were placed in the bottom two. Meanwhile, Nene Coco and Vita Von T Star were placed in the top two and forced to duke it out in a lip sync battle for the win. In the end, Nene Coco was named the winner of the challenge, while the bottom two lived to see another day. This is the big takeaway. Welcome to the big takeaway for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18, Episode 1, titled You Can't Keep a Good Drag Queen Down. My name's Joe Batanz, and I'm joined, as always, by one wet-ass pussy. From the Bloody Podcast, please give it up for the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself, the one, the only Miss Laurian K. Roggenkamp. Hello, Laurian.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. Just got back from Seattle. I was on the flight I was on. There was a cat diagonally. A guy had a cat diagonally to me, and it kept crying, and he kept taking it out of its carrier. So that was fun for me.
Oh, that's right. Because you can't. People who don't listen to our other Patreon shows, you don't know that Lauri has like a really horrible fear of cats. And
I don't have a horrible fear. I'm allergic to them and I don't like them.
We went to this dinner and she ran around the table like I don't know, like someone was chasing her. It was really weird.
Because the cat was chasing me.
You were saying the cat was chasing you?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, before we jump into anything, quick reminder, you're listening to The Big Takeaway, part of our Drag Race coverage here at Afterthought Media. And this is essentially now going to function as our first response show. It's going to be where we react to the episode right after it airs. And we'll tell you more about the rest of the shows later. But it's a new thing that we're doing here where it harkens back to the old. Remember the first response, Lauri?
Yeah.
Years ago, we had a show called The First Response. And it was a show that was essentially, it turned into it got wild. Right, where people would call in and like show their chi-chis and all. They were all after. Here's what happened, and I don't know if Lauri remembers this. I have a cousin named Virgil, and she owns a lesbian bar.
Yes,
and she used to let us use the lesbian bar for the show.
No,
and we only had limited time to record the episode, but God, it got wild because it was a lesbian bar, so all the lesbians were trying to get with Lauri and show their chi-chis and their chonchos, and it was a wild. That's how Lauri met Star.
No, it's not how I met Star.
Seems to be. That's how I remember you meeting Star.
Only thing that's true about that whole thing is that you have a cousin named Virgil. You would essentially just play that stupid song over and over again. And say, and annoy the crap out of me, and then pretend to be Virgil, and then say that we were at a lesbian bar. So that
Lauri,
was what.
I'm not. We have limited time. I promised Lauri that this show wouldn't be a very long show, so I really can't fully get into it. Right? We can't fully get into it because Lauri and we're gonna do. You guys have heard what we're gonna do before. This isn't a new show. We are just essentially breaking it apart from the old show. So we're going to give our big general opinions on on the show as a whole. And if you want the down and dirty minute by minute breakdown, then I'll tell you, let me tell you about it now before we go into the break. Okay. The big takeaway, okay, is our first response show.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the immediate reactions, the gut takes. Coming from us, those are going to be some big takes.
It's going to be huge.
Huge. Where we land right after the episode airs. Now, the full Drag Race recap show, where we break the episode down moment by moment, that's going to be a separate show now. And that's going to be with Nathan, and that's going to run exclusively on Patreon and Apple Podcasts for the entire season. Ooh. That full recap will not be in the public feed until the season is over. But if you want those full ad-free recap episodes every week, that's going to be on Patreon or through Apple Podcast subscriptions. Now, on Patreon right now, and this is a January only thing, we're running 40% off your first month on premium or executive tier. And I'm going to tell you the offer code now. It's going to be in the show notes, but the offer code is, let me read it right here, 16C85. So when you go to Patreon, you sign up, you can put this offer code 16C85 and you'll get 40% off your first month on the premium and executive tier. Now, by the way, just inside tea here, I wanted to do longer. Patreon only lets you do it for 1 month. So that's not me being stingy. The Patreon doesn't allow more. Paid members, by the way, get the full recap shows with no commercials. Plus, you get access to a whole library of Afterthought Media shows.
That's
and
nice.
At the executive tier, you also get Just Between Us Girls, which is sort of the stuff we talk about before we record the show. Some juicy shit comes out of there.
Yes.
You don't want to miss that.
And look, guys, I'm doing the same thing. We all know we're going to be trying to get healthier, right? We're going to try and go on walks.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to try and go to the gym. And you need something to listen to make the time go by less slowly. So I think this is a great deal.
Oh, look at Lauri coming in here. Now, if you're not ready to pay yet, you can still sign up as a free member on Patreon. Now, free members, they actually do get the full recap show, but they get it 1 week later. So the only way you can get the full recap show for free is if you sign up for free at Patreon. So it's a great way to sample everything. Try before you buy, you know?
Yeah.
And if Patreon isn't your thing, you can subscribe directly through Apple Podcasts for just over $5 a month. Same shows, same timing as Patreon, no ads. However you do it, Patreon or Apple Podcasts is how you get the full Drag Race breakdowns and support the show. So that's big takeaway you get here. But you get it on, on Patreon. You get the full recap. You get Just Between Us Girls. You're going to get Rulaska Thoughts on here too. But there's a lot of shows, but then a lot of Patreon. And there's all kinds of shows. Lauri and I are going to be doing shows. Really, really big stuff going on over there at Patreon. So you can do the app, patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia, or Apple Podcasts. All right, Lauri, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? And when we come back from the break, we're actually going to jump right into the show.
This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But it's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI's not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. Their clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. They offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions that isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will find that their mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the healthcare they deserve. Because they believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized, insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. Midi, the care women deserve.
And we are back. All right. Now, Lauri, as I said at the top of the show, Kenya Pleaser and Mandy Mango were placed in the bottom two. And then Nene Coco and Dita Von T Star were in the top two. They did a lip sync to a Cardi B song. And then in the end, Nene Coco won the whole challenge. So my question for you, we have a few questions here. Were the right two queens in the bottom? Were the right two queens in the top? And did the right queen win the episode?
You know, if we were just going based off looks, I would say, what was it? Her name was Vita Von Teese. Was her name?
Vita Von T Star.
Vita Von T Star.
Vita Von T Star.
If we were just going by looks, I think she should have won. But because they did that lip sync, and I literally told Star when we were watching this, I said, if Vita Von T Star does not shit the bed, she's going to win this competition. And she literally shit the bed. Not literally.
You think she shit the bed?
Figuratively, she spent first off, she started by opening an umbrella. Why? And then secondly,
it was raining. Didn't you see it?
No. And then secondly, she spent most of the lip syncing at Nene. Like, it's like, why would you lip sync at Nene? She's not judging you. Yeah. RuPaul's judging you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, because of that lip sync, yeah, Nene deserved to win.
So here's, well, first of all, let's take it piece by piece. We'll come back to this and I'll address this. Were the right two queens in the bottom?
Yes. I will say that I really didn't like Discord Adams' outfit. And just the cockiness in which she had about the outfit made me want her in the bottom. Yeah. But from hearing what the judges said, yeah, I think Mandy Mango and I always forget her. What's her name? Sorry.
Kenya Pleaser.
Kenya Pleaser should have been. Yeah, they should have been in the bottom.
Yeah, Kenya Pleaser. Let's take a look at this. Kenya Pleaser. Her outfit was a mess. And I understand it really sucked. There were extenuating circumstances that she had no control over. And, you know, she did the best that I think she could.
I mean, she really rocked it on the runway. If she was wearing an actual good dress, she probably could have been in the top because of the way she was. Yeah, she worked the hell out of it.
Yeah. But that outfit wasn't, and the outfit was bad. That outfit was bad. Honestly, terrible. If we go to the bottom three, which that included Juicy Love Dion, the bottom three pretty much were the ones I would have put in the bottom three. I see what you're saying about Discord Adams, and the only reason I'm saying that is when she came out on the runway, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this look. But I don't know how I felt about any of her looks. We can get to it, but I didn't really like her workroom entrance look either.
No. I
don't think I'm really into her aesthetic very much.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know how I feel about her look. But I didn't like Juicy Love Dion's either. I was like, what did you do?
No.
You didn't really do anything.
And can I just say that this is to anybody, and who knows, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about going on RuPaul's Drag Race, take a goddamn sewing class. Like, it is 18 fucking seasons. You should not be going on that show and not be able to sew. They should immediately just kick you off the show at this point and be like, nope, we're kicking out. We're picking somebody else.
So I think what we're seeing is it's a much more seasoned cast. Okay, it's a much more well-seasoned, older cast, and I think you can tell that this is addressing what you just said, in a very simple thing that shows you the difference between age and experience and the lack thereof. Is Athena Dion said, Athena Dion's clearly in her late 30s, early 40s. I think we're shaving some years off. But she says something to the effect of, look, I've always designed my outfits, but have people sew them. But because I wanted to get in the show, I paid for 25 sewing classes.
Yeah.
And that's the sign. Because a lot of these younger queens are like, I don't need to sew. I'm not going to learn to sew. I'm just going to go on there and be sickening and RuPaul's going to love me, yada, 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 right?
Yeah.
And this bitch was like, this is why I think Athena Dion has winner energy.
Yes.
Is because she was like, okay, what do I have to do to get on the show, to do well on the show? And I'm going to take 25 sewing classes. And it worked. And
also, like, I mean, taking sewing classes is optimal, but if you don't have the money, you know, go to Facebook Marketplace, buy a cheap sewing machine, go on YouTube, teach yourself, you know, like there's so many classes on YouTube to teach you how to sew. It's just like, it's mind boggling that we're still having queens come on this show who don't know how to sew.
Now let's go to the next part. Let's go to the more positive side of things. Were the right two queens in the top?
Yeah, I would say. I was actually a little more shocked that, God, who's the queen with the pink hair that was in the top?
Jane Don't.
Jane Don't, that's right. I was a little shocked that she wasn't one of the, first I thought it was going to be Jane Don't and Vita Von T-Star.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be the two, but they seem to really like Nene's outfit. So, you know.
I was not surprised that she was not in the top two. In fact, with Jane Don't. I mean, I understand why her outfit, why they liked it, and how it was well crafted. I'm not sure I was a big fan of the aesthetic because I felt it made her look matronly. It's funny. She looks like a lot of old former drag queens. Like when she entered the workroom, she looked like Jinx Monsoon.
Yeah.
Right.
Does.
And then in this one, she looked like her Mona Lisa. So, I was like, I don't know if the matronly aesthetic was doing it for me. So I'm wondering who I would have swapped out for that third spot. I'm not sure, but definitely, Vita Von T-Star and Nene Coco deserve those top two spots.
Yeah.
That third spot I could have swapped out for someone else. I'm going to rewatch the episode tomorrow before the recap show.
Yeah.
And I think when I do, I will be able to maybe see who that third spot should have gone to.
I have I have a notes app, and the only notes I took was who I thought you would find attractive.
I only find one person attractive. Yes. 1.5.
I have a couple that I put question marks by, but I only have one person that I think you find attractive.
Okay, let's see. Now, you know what? To be fair, what I'm going to Widow Von do is I'm going to take an index card. Okay. And I'm going to write the person first. That way I can't cheat. Okay. So I'm going to write the person first, and then you'll say it, and then I will hold up the answer. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Nene Coco.
The answer is Nene Coco.
I knew it.
I find Nene Coco very attractive.
As soon as she walked in, I was like, that's her. I'll tell you the question marks I had. These are the ones I thought maybe he finds some of these attractive.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, first I said Athena Dion, but I think Athena Dion looks too much like afterthought personality Robert.
Oh, I don't think Athena Dion looks like Robert. It's funny you say that, but Athena Dion was a half to me because I think Athena Dion looks too much like there was this other drag Q. I couldn't remember the drag queen's name. There was this drag queen Q who I could not stand. Couldn't stand this Q. Okay. And I felt like Athena Dion's giving me as a boy Q, and I was like, ugh, right? But otherwise, it would have been a yes for Athena Dion.
Juicy Love Dion, I thought you might like.
It's a toss-up. Maybe not right now, no. But let's see how the season goes.
Mandy Mango.
You know what? I had to give a couple of looks at Mandy. I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
I think Mandy Mango is super cute.
Yeah, super cute.
Yeah. Darlene Mitchell.
No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Strangely, as much as people think I have a white guy fetish, He is exactly the kind of white guy that I do not fuck with. I'm not attracted to that kind of white guy.
So I can't remember if this was Darlene Mitchell or Mikey, but there was one that I picked that had longer hair, and I picked it solely because there's a queen on the other show we did, Hello Uglies, that had longer hair that you thought was attractive. And so I thought, oh, maybe he has like a long white guy long hair thing.
No.
So
I thought Mikey Meeks when she came out, I go, oh, she could be really cute as a boy. But then I saw the tights and they were ripped.
Didi Fuego was the last one.
Didi Fuego, nah.
I feel like she had two.
I'll say this, Lauri. All the guesses are good guesses. Didi Fuego, I don't know. She just bugs me. I think her personality bugs me, so I was not into it.
I also, I don't know if you want to. Stars rearranging furniture for some reason. I don't know if you want to guess, but I can tell you there's this queen on the show that I really want her hairstyle.
A queen on the show that you, as a boy or as a girl?
As a girl. Or no, well, as a boy. Sorry, them as a boy, but have me wear it as a girl.
Briar Blush.
Yep. Ah, yes.
Yes. I was trying to think who's giving. Remember, they even said, in fact, this was a funny joke that I think it was Jane Don't said, where Jane Don't said that Briar Blush was giving Tegan and Sarah. And I actually laughed out loud at that joke.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I actually laughed out loud. That was a really funny joke.
Okay, cards on the table. Do you think I could pull that off? Do you think that's a look that I could pull off? Star said yes, but I feel like she's
I think you
biased.
could. I think you could. I mean, it's very dykey. It's a very dykey haircut, and you do give
big dyke energy.
Big dyke energy, BDE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Very good.
Well, I have a hair appointment Sunday, so I may or may not.
You might take a picture of Briar Blush and take it.
I took a picture. Yeah.
Oh, I like this because when is your appointment?
Sunday, I think at 11 a.m.
So by the next big takeaway episode, we might be seeing you with a new maybe possibly Briar Blush inspired hairstyle.
Yeah. Which is funny because I find her annoying as a person, but fashion wise, I think I like her. I think she's great. But yeah.
I want to address what you talked about did the right queen win the episode really quickly before we go to the big takeaway. I didn't think Widow Von Du shit the bed. I do think Nene Coco deserved to win, but mostly, almost, it kind of reminds me, even though in the movie Rocky loses, but in the original film Rocky goes up against Apollo Creed, who's like the best boxer. I think he's the heavyweight champion, but they have like a charity match.
And it's supposed to be a giveaway that Rocky's going to lose. Like he's going to,
Like it's a given that he's going to lose. They're just doing this for an exhibition. And he trains really hard and takes it very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. And he still loses, but he goes the full match, all 3 rounds, and just loses by decision.
Yeah.
And that's considered a victory because he went the whole 3 rounds.
He didn't get knocked out.
He didn't get knocked out. He stood up. He was able to stand up against Apollo Creed. That's how I kind of felt about this lip sync. And what I mean is typically when you see a lip sync performance, and that it's not even necessarily black and white as much as it is like energy, drag queen energy between a person like Vita Von T. What's her name again?
Vita Von
T. Star, who really gives black excellence. And then you have Nene Coco, who I don't know that much about Nene Coco, but seems kind of Broadway queenish. I don't know if she is or not.
She's twink decor.
Yeah, I have the dossier here for Nene Coco. I know she's an engineer. Like, okay, first of all, just think engineer. Right?
Yeah.
You're not thinking that they could really hold a candle to someone. So Nene Coco is from Denver, mechanical engineer, yeah, so like she just doesn't seem like someone who could pull off a Cardi B song. And I was even like, whether she wins or loses, I was like, she held her own against Vita Von T Star.
Well, I will say, I think Vita was handicapped by that outfit.
Oh, that outfit. She couldn't move around.
It was phenomenal. I mean, look, if this had strictly been a looks, I would have said, hands down, Vita should have won.
Yeah.
But they did the lip sync, and then she can't move, really.
Yeah.
Like, she tried to get on the ground and do stuff, and she had to, like, move her bodice out of the so.
That is a big part of it. Yeah.
So I think that she was, it is sort of like Rocky, and Apollo, because Apollo, didn't really use full force until it started getting real.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that was the same with Vita and Nene. I think Nene brought it, and Vita thought she was just going to come on stage and just be, just spectacular. And I think she could see that Nene was catching everyone's eye. And I think that's why she chose to make it because the song is basically about somebody rapping to somebody. And so I think she thought, I'll we'll do like a rap battle. And she just did side profile for a majority of the song. So
yeah. No. I was literally when they go, this is gonna be. I thought this was gonna be a bloodbath, and it wasn't. She held her own. So kudos to Nene Coco. All right. So now it's time for the big takeaway. Now, Lauri, I don't know if you had a big takeaway prepared, right? After watching this. Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's not like a good one. I'm trying to think of the right thing to say.
Let's hear it, because then I had an idea of what we could do.
All right.
I don't really have a big takeaway.
So normally, when I do recap these shows, I get very annoyed when queens say things like, when they're safe, and they say things like, well, I should have been in the top, and the person who was in the top should have been in the bottom, because it's like, who gives a fuck what you think? It's the judges that matter. But then I started thinking, like, think about this as if these were a bunch of teenagers, vying for a crown. And then it kind of made me laugh. So it just, the insecurity coming out in everyone. Yeah. It was just very funny to me how shocked they were that Nene was in the top, how Discord was just so, and like the first thing that I think Briar, Blush, and I forgot who else, but they were like, we're top safe. It's like, that's not a thing.
I haven't watched Untucked yet, so that's what you're talking about. Oh, interesting.
Oh, was that in Untucked? Oh, maybe. Yeah, sorry. I might have blended
I don't remember them talking about their placement.
I might have blended. Oh, that's why I watched Untucked, because Discord says we all agreed that I should have been in the top. Remember, she says that to
okay. So let me
Cardi B.
Okay, I got confused with what you just said right now. Discord Adams, the drag queen, said that she felt Discord Adams should have been in the top. When you said that sentence right now, I thought you were talking about Discord, the messaging board, and that the afterthoughts were saying on there that Lauri should have been in the top. And I was like, what?
I should have been on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
No, Discord Adams tells Cardi B.
I think you should have been Black China.
Discord Adams tells Cardi B, everyone thinks that I should have been on the top.
Yeah.
And so I watched the Untucked to see.
Did they?
No, I didn't see anything. I mean, maybe I missed it, but no, not at all.
Yeah.
I think one time she said, like, I'm going to be gagged if Nene wins. And some other queens were like, yeah. And then that was it, So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was, so that's my takeaway. It's just like, just super insecure. And a side takeaway is, I feel like, and I haven't watched a lot of these seasons, but I've watched several competition shows lately. I feel like queens are more and more freaking out more and more about going home. And I feel like they're acting like when they get eliminated, they are brought out back and shot. And it's like, you just go home. Like, it's not the end of the world. So
I think because I think there's been this now you're turning this into a big takeaway. I think we've seen sort of like, I don't know what you would call this look on a graph, but in terms, if the graph were to measure anxiety about early outs, I would feel the graph would be two large humps where the number of seasons is the X axis and the amount of anxiety is the y-axis. And what I'm saying is, I think early on, up till around season 6, you have a high anxiety about going home early. And then there was this weird golden era that I would say between seasons 7 and this doesn't have to do with the reality, but with the feeling of anxiety among the queens. I would say to 13 or 14.
Okay.
Where there was a low anxiety because the queens were so popular. It didn't matter when you got booted, as long as you made an impact and you made a lasting memory. Take Vanjie, for instance. Then that could guarantee success, right?
Yeah.
But now we're at a place where there are so many former contestants of RuPaul's Drag Race that you need to stay on if you want to have any chance of getting any good bookings and going on the tour and going on RuPaul's Drag Race Live or going on All Stars. You want to stay as long as possible because now there's so many queens that just being on the show no longer is the cachet that it used to be.
Oh, so that's why they're so nervous.
Yeah, because this is so. I think now we're going back to if you make it to Snatch Game,
then you're
gonna feel
good.
a little less anxious.
Okay.
Yeah. What I thought we would do, but you know what? We'll just save it for the full recap show. But since I'm gonna go over it on the full recap show. Were there any queens? You know, this is their first episode. Who were the big queens for you that you remember and they had an impact on you that you were good or bad, that they left an impact, positive or negative, that you think you're going to walk away from this show?
Well, I was telling Star that I thought it was weird when Didi Fuego came out and they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm, New York, but I was born in Mexico. I'm a Mexican American drag queen, but I'm not a cha-cha-cha drag queen." And I was just like, what does that mean? And then Star said that's not a bad thing. That's actually like something that is used to describe, like a sort of like very flashy, done up, Mexican woman or something, I guess.
So, I don't know if you listened to the Meet the Queens episode with me and Nathan, but we actually do go over this, right?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And what's funny is in her press release, in Didi Fuego's press release, she says this. She says she's not a cha-cha-cha queen. First of all, her name's Didi Fuego.
Yeah, that's what Athena Dion says. Your name's Didi Fuego.
Yeah, and then when you read her press release, it's full of these dumb Spanish puns and Mexican puns and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, for someone who doesn't want to be seen as cha-cha-cha, you're making a lot about it. And here's the other thing too, is and since you didn't listen to the Meet the Queens, you don't know this. I recorded the audio from Meet the Queens, but I didn't watch the videos. So I didn't know what any of the queens looked like. I knew all about them, but didn't know what they looked like before I saw them today.
Okay.
And once I saw Didi Fuego and then heard her say it again, and now you saying it, it makes a lot more sense. So there's a certain part of Mexico where, I don't know why, but the Mexicans there are very white passing. Okay. And what's funny is, and I know somebody who's like this, and he knows who he is when he hears this, who they're the only ones who talk about how white passing they are, right?
Yeah.
I love that I look Mexican. I never think about it, right? But the white passing ones are always the ones who bring up colorism and white passing and cha-cha-cha and this and that, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's almost like the gay guy who's like really proud of the fact that he comes off as butch, or comes off as like not super gay, or that the straights accept him or whatever, right? He's not one of those gay guys.
Well, it's funny you say that because, and I could be mistaken, but I think Didi Fuego, she was the one who was like, "Oh, it's surprising to see so many butch guys in here."
She could be one of those too.
Yeah.
So Didi Fuego also is probably a self-hating Mexican because she's very white passing. Okay. And so she's constantly bringing up that, oh, I'm Mexican, but I'm not one of those Mexicans. It's essentially is what she's saying.
Yeah.
And
that's
so,
how I took it as, but Star said that's not true.
That's how I took it.
Okay.
As like, I'm not one of those Mexicans. Like she's dyed her hair blonde. Like she is very fair skinned. So she wants, you know what she's doing it for? She's doing it essentially for the gram. And what I mean is she'll mention, because she's trying to get people to say it. So she's like, oh yeah, and I'm from Monterrey, Mexico. And she wants everyone to go, what? You're Mexican? And she goes, yeah, I'm not one of those Mexicans. I'm not cha-cha-cha. I'm not, like, who's cha-cha-cha? And here's the funny, this is coming from a person who's not cha-cha-cha, right?
Yeah, she definitely has that old, I don't watch the news that much, but I don't know if they do it. And odds are we probably don't know because there aren't a lot of Latin news anchors anymore because, news can only apparently be reported by white people. But there used to be a thing where news reporters, when they would, say something in their, where they're from, they would over enunciate it to like really emphasize that they were there. And so like, she seems like one of those people where she's like, she just talks like how she thinks she should talk. And then when she gets to like a Spanish word, she's like, enchiladas.
Yeah, because then I think she likes being who wouldn't want to be Mexican? But like, I think she likes being Mexican, but wants everyone to flatter for her for how you have to understand something. Colorism, I'm not from Mexico, but I do know it's a big deal in Mexico.
Really?
Yes, where the darker skinned you are, even within the family. And this is true, by the way, this is true for a lot of ethnicities. A friend of mine, I won't say much more about him, was telling me about how his mother loves her grandkids, but was commenting about how much prettier one is than the other. And the other, they're mixed, but one of them is much more white passing than the other. And she was talking about the white passing one. So there's big colorism in ethnic communities. And so Didi Fuego, I don't know if she's a very insecure person or she's self-hating Mexican or something, but she wants everyone to flatter her about how I never knew you were Mexican. You're so white passing. I thought you were white, And
then the only other one, because I don't want to take up too much time, but the only other one that I thought was interesting was the mother-daughter duo.
Oh, the grandmother-daughter.
Grandmother-daughter duo. And so I'm interested to see, and I didn't realize that was the first time that's ever happened on RuPaul's Drag Race. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. I mean, we saw in the first episode that Athena just essentially let her, just left her behind. It was like, I got to focus on myself, which, she had to do that for, she's in the competition as well. But
I have thoughts on that, but I'm definitely going to talk about that on the actual RuPaul's Drag Race recap. Any other big thoughts, Laura?
No, I will say that I was surprised at how much I liked a good majority of the queens. And
and I will say this episode seemed to get back to RuPaul's Drag Race basics. This is a very early episode style, early season style episode. Even though they didn't do an elimination, they did do the unconventional design challenge, which used to typically be first. They did a photo shoot, which used to always be in the first episode.
With Jamal Sims, who's just seemed to be there for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know. He was like the Nathan of the
But I also thought it was funny that they were just you could just tell they were having fun, you know. Yeah. And so I don't know. I enjoyed it. Was fun.
It harkened back to the old days, and I think also having more seasoned queens. I think there is something to be said about having queens that are with a mix. What I'm not just saying it should all be only seasoned queens, but you have a mix, you know. And so that's
definitely.
All right, just to reiterate, if you're looking for the full moment by moment Drag Race recap, that lives on Patreon and Apple Podcasts all season long. But other than that, that's going to do it for this. I'm sorry, I have to say it differently. I'm so used to saying the old one. That's going to do it for the Drag Race Recap Big Takeaway. Be sure to join us next week and every week as Lauri and I continue to give the first response to each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18. So for Lauri and Kay Rodenkamp and myself,
sashay away until next week.
Thank you for listening to RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. You can also leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ content, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia or on the app. Very special thanks to these expensive tier Patreon supporters: Polly Ann Marie, Ram Crackers, Mike Yeager, Efren Barboza, Philskit Pony, Scott Dreyer, Travis Newland, Tom Bombs, Mary Shine, Lucy Carrasco, Astute Girl, Dave, Runner Brandon, Humble Pie, E. Smith, JTP, Nikki Pettit, Doofus Maximus, Kathy Zender, Nikki Baker, Peter Teef, Derek Byers, Coco San Pedro, Poppy Woods, Lauren Eckert, Brad Coley, Katie Whitmire, AJ Norris, and Sarah Yu. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.
This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But it's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI's not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. Their clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. They offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions that isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will find that their mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the healthcare they deserve. Because they believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized, insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.